Hey guys, I'm trying something new on my channel because I realized that relying on travel blogs is just not sustainable long term. And also, I'm not the kind of person who regularly films my everyday life because it's honestly quite mundane. So I was thinking, what can I talk about that's still useful or interesting? And that's when I remembered that I'm going through a pretty unconventional academic path. I started in Singapore Polytechnic studying supply chain. Then I went to Singapore Management University for human resources. And now I'm in my last semester at Ngee Polytechnic doing digital communications. So this will be the start of a school series, and today's video will be about how I survived SMU as an introvert with anxiety. Before I begin, some disclaimers. Number one, I graduated in 2022, so keep in mind that things at SMU may have evolved since then. Number two, don't think of this as strict advice, but rather as a reflection on what I learned and what I could have done better. Number three, this is purely based on my personal experience. Yours may be different. So if your journey has been different, I would love to hear about it in the comments, or you can even make your own video. Let's start. The first thing that I did was to be strategic with the professors that I chose. There are websites like afterclass.io where students can leave reviews of their professors after taking the course. You need to sign in with your SMU account before leaving a review and reading other students' reviews. So before I bid for any course, I would go on this website or ask if any of my seniors or friends could share their experiences. My personal deal breaker for any module was that I avoided any prof who was known for cold calling students. This means calling on a student to answer, even if their hands are not up. So it didn't matter if the module looked super fun, or if the timing fit my schedule perfectly, or if it was a really cheap module. If there was any cold calling, I definitely won't choose that module. And if I accidentally did, I would drop the class during the add drop week. I had to do this for my peace of mind because uni life was already very stressful and I was trying to eliminate any unnecessary stress so that I could focus properly. Number two, I maximized my non-class part components. Let's be honest, if you're not a professional yapper, you need to make up for it in other areas. No choice. For individual assignments or take-home quizzes, I would say try not to chiong everything in a group of friends within one session because the likelihood of groupthink happening is going to be very high. I did this in my first semester and I got a D for my take-home quiz. After going for a remedial session during finals week with the prof, I realized that I didn't fully understand the questions and just went along with what my friends thought were correct. So please make sure that you are completely confident of your answers before submitting the quiz. I would recommend doing it yourself and clarifying with the prof directly if you have any questions. For midterms, aim for a minimum of A. This is the easiest component to score in. Why? Because they're going to be testing the first few topics, which most of the time are going to be the easiest few topics. Sometimes the prof doesn't even retest these topics in the final exams, so I always tried to ace my midterms so that I could chill during finals. And for finals, look for resources in the SMU Telegram chat or carousel. You will find notes and cheat sheets by the seniors. The listing titles are pretty obvious. It will be like A plus notes for this module taught by this professor. Trust me, building on someone else's material is much easier than starting from scratch. Number three, class part, the necessary evil. This was my biggest anxiety point, So my tactic was get it over and done with ASAP. If there are any reading questions, prepare for them in advance. If not, make guesses on what the prof might ask and prepare your notes accordingly. I also aim to answer within the first 5 minutes of discussion in class. Why? Because I have this theory that while everyone else is still scrambling and flipping through their notes, no one is listening to you yet except for the prof. So even if you say something stupid, you can hope that not many people heard you slip up. But once the other students find their momentum, it will get increasingly harder to speak up. So try to strike early. And if there are other ways to make up class part like online discussion boards or weekly quizzes, must do. These are the easy marks. Number 4, join the camps. If you don't want to pay for them, at least join the free ones. I understand that camps can be cringe, like rolling in the sand on beach day, cheering, and everyone is sweaty and disgusting. I hated it too, but these camps give you access to Telegram chats where seniors will share free textbooks, prof reviews, bidding strategies, etc. These resources will come in handy. So join the camps, and if you want to skip the last day, go ahead because that's what I did too. Number 5, I planned my schedule according to what I could handle. Everyone learns differently. I had friends who crammed all their modules into one day so that they could intern for the rest of the week. Mad respect to them, but this kind of hustler life was not what I was aiming for. My goal was simply to survive. Personally, I never did more than 2 back-to-back classes. That is already a total of 6 hours plus, which really drains my social battery and ability to focus. So I would spread my modules out over 2 to 3 days so that each of the school days are less intense. Also, you don't need to die front load your modules in the earlier semesters. I heard from some seniors to take 5 modules per sem in year 1 and 2 so that I could slack in year 4 or graduate earlier. But I tried 4.5 modules in my first sem and I nearly crashed out. So after that, I stuck with 4 modules per sem. So just adjust according to your limits. Number 6, in hindsight, internships are more important than CCA. Unless your CCA is directly related to your dream career, for example, you join the investment or consulting club and you join case competitions, trying out different internships seems much more useful. My biggest regret was joining a CCA exco because it took up so much time, which affected my adjustment period to uni life. Instead, I should have done internships during the summer break and focused purely on academics during the semester. I also regret not applying for different internships to try out the career paths that I was interested in before deciding on a major. A lot of SMEs are actually open to training interns with no experience as long as you are willing to learn, have read up on the subject, and show genuine interest. You don't need to aim for big name companies either. Smaller ones can give you just as much hands-on experience, so try to keep an open mind. Number 7, don't join a CCA if you don't like it. It sounds like common sense, but let me describe to you how you may fall into the trap. There's this CCA fair called Vivace that happens near the start of the semester in August. Most likely, freshmen are going to visit the event in a group of friends. If one person signs up, the person in charge at the booth may try to convince the rest of the group to sign up as well. And if you happen to have people-pleasing tendencies, suddenly you're in a CCA you never wanted to be in. So have the courage to say no. If you're scared, just wear a mask and walk off if you feel uncomfortable. There are seniors who don't join any CCA and they're doing perfectly fine. if you end up joining and realize that it's not for you, just quit. Mental health is the most important. I promise you, no one will kill you for quitting a CCA. I thought being in EXCO meant that I had to stay the full year, and turns out I found out that there were EXCO members that quit halfway through anyway. Number 8, I learned to be alone. So before coming to SMU, you most likely would have been from a fixed class of students whom you see every day, so it's easier to stick to a clique of friends and just go everywhere in a group. But in SMU, every module is like a new set of classmates. So I was terrified at first because eating alone felt so awkward. But after a while, I realized that lots of people do this and that no one is judging you. They're just minding their own business, probably watching Netflix with their earphones in. Doing things alone became normal for me, and honestly, very convenient because you don't need to wait for people, you just do whatever you want, when you want to, at your own pace. If there's one good thing that SMU taught me, it's that I became a lot more comfortable doing things alone, which was something that I couldn't even fathom doing before I came to SMU. Number 9, I bid for modules alone when I needed to. I read this tweet somewhere which I cannot find anymore, but it said something like, don't stress about finding friends before joining a club that you're interested in, because when you join, you will naturally meet people who share the same interests, and that's how your new friendships will form. So by the same token, you don't need to take the same class as your friend. Bid for what you actually want to learn, because chances are you will meet other people in the class with the same interest or same major anyway. This is better than settling for a module that you don't even like just to stick together with your friend. Number 10, which is the last thing that I'm gonna say, know your preference between group projects or finals. Finals were my preference. It requires individual work with individual consequences and results, and I was comfortable with this. I didn't enjoy group projects because every module had a different set of classmates. So if you were taking 4 modules with group projects, it means you need to carve out 4 separate timings out of your schedule just to discuss the different projects, which I found was a waste of time and energy. But I did have some friends who absolutely hated exams and only bid for modules with group projects. So it really depends on your preference. So yes, that's how I made it through SMU as someone introverted, anxious, and very glad that I somehow still graduated with a magna cum laude. Once again, this is not a guide. It was just what worked for me and how I would have done better if I could turn back time. Let me know in the comments what worked for you, or if you went through something similar. And if you're still in school and struggling, you will be okay. If you're not, please schedule a session with the school counselors. I tried a few sessions and the people there were quite helpful. Anyway, thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!